Well, okay, friends. Doc South here. Hey. Yeah, I don't know how I got on the topic for today, but honestly, I don't know. Except, I might have been. I know what it was. Oh, yeah. I think there's something new, actually, something old that's new again. I thought I saw it at our supermarket the other day. I'm almost certain that's where I saw it. That, or I may have seen it at the dollar store today when I dropped in. Yeah, I had to get some trash bags. Well, they got trash bags, these big ones. Yeah, seven of them for $1. Oh, please. Yeah, pretty nice. And they hold trash about as good as anything. So yeah, it's. I was in there, and I guess while I was in line, I think there's like they have an area, aimed. It's a kind of a kid level, and it's full of candy and things. And I think I saw some kind of it was a new and improved thing, a straw that if you drink milk through it, it flavors the milk, odd flavors. And I said, oh my gosh, they're bringing back the old flavor straw. Yeah, I don't know. I'm older than dirt, so I don't know. Maybe flavor straws have always been around, but I don't think so. I think they went away, and evidently now they're back. A flavor straw. No, no, a flavor straw. Right. What you do with these, you stick them in the milk, you shake them around a bit. Okay, shake them around a bit, and then you just sip your milk. And what it is they make regular milk have flavors. Now I don't know I didn't stop to look. I imagine they probably got some wacky flavors for the kids nowadays. Gummy bear and all that stuff. But when I was a kid, it was called flavor straws. I forget what the modern day equivalent is called, but flavor straws. Yeah, you'd have to be older than dirt to remember this. Okay, I'm just saying. Watch who you start talking to this about, because they're gonna know your age. Like big deal. I contend that we lived in a pretty interesting time, those of us in our 70s. And flavor straws was one of those things. It was right up there with foot-long hot dogs. There was, you would, I think flavor straws when they came out in three different flavors: chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. And if you basically, like I said, stuck the straw in, shook it around a bit, and started drinking. Well, when you were all done, we, of course, as kids had to figure out what's the magic, how's this going? And there was like a little strip of paper that was coated with flavoring. And evidently, as the milk passed over it, it imparted the flavor of of strawberry, for instance, to the milk. Yeah. And us kids kind of dug it. After a while, though, I remember we kind of looked at each other and said, gee, I don't know. Strawberries taste better than this, and this isn't quite as chocolatey as a Hershey bar. And after a while, they got kind of old. But doggone, still for a while there, we're going pretty strong with them. I think they were flavor straws or maybe Flavo straws. Yeah. Flavos, no, Flavos were those shrimp rolls at the drive-in movie. Never tried one. People told me, nah. Anyway, they might have been great. I wouldn't be able to tell you. I always went for popcorn and maybe a hot dog. Yeah. So, but flavor straws, yeah. And I got to thinking about all the different things, all the different kinds of stuff we did to milk back in the day. There was, of course, a Jersey company that produced Bosco. Yeah, Bosco. That started back, I didn't realize this, but Bosco came out like in 1928. 1928. And yeah, Bosco, right. Yeah, Bosco was like Hershey syrup, only it came out a little later than Hershey syrup. They may have put something else in Bosco as well. It may not have just been, no, I think it was. It was basically chocolate, certainly in the 50s. And there was this. I didn't realize the name Bosco. You say, okay, why would they call chocolate syrup Bosco? Evidently, they put something in it to make it a little more nourishing, and it was the word Bosco is sort of an Americanized version of the Greek word for, the Greek word for I nourish. Yeah, it's something like I Boskov, something like that. And that means I nourish. Bosco, I nourish. Came out in 1928, kids were drinking it. Yeah. And in 1956, oh yeah, man, we were knocking down that Bosco, something fierce. In fact, I remember you could on TV, they had this thing, I think more in the early 60s. It was a clown head, and you could take the cap off the Bosco jar, screw on the clown head, and then, yeah, and it was just a funny little clown with, with a clown collar. And I think you took off, I think you basically took off the little top of the hat, or the hat itself, and then you poured it upside down, and the Bosco, yeah, poured out of the clown's head, which was kind of weird, but it did. And yeah, and there you go. You poured, I guess. Well, it just kept pouring. You were so fascinated by it that half a jar of Bosco went down into your milk, which really gave you a jolt. It was pretty good. Yeah. And there were always some kind of gimmick with chocolate milk. I think, oh gosh, Ovaltine, which I believe was a powder, right? Yeah, a powder. Ovaltine, I think you had the Orphan Annie, the Orphan Annie decoder ring, right? I think came with that. Ovaltine, again, another old drink. I think chocolate and malt. I think, if I recall right. It was pretty darn good. The thing with Ovaltine was you had, and cocoa malt and various others. If you watched Uncle Fred's afternoon funnies there on the station out of Newark, Channel 13, back in the day, the late 40s, early 50s, he showed you how. Yeah, he'd get a glass of milk, a little bit of milk in the bottom of the glass, and then you spoon in the Ovaltine, then you stirred it till it was like a paste, right? Okay, and then you poured in the milk and stirred it up some more. Bingo, you got it. Evidently, the thing was, I guess the deal was that if you put the powder in, then the milk, you didn't quite, there'd be too much of it left at the bottom. And also you'd be spilling milk all over all over the house. You get a whooping. and the Ovaltine company would get a letter. Yeah. Okay. So that's, yeah. Oh, what was the other one I liked? Hershey syrup. Yeah, Hershey syrup. That Milton Hershey evidently distributed that or started that up out of Hershey, out in Hershey, Pennsylvania, I think around 1926. So that was something that, and it's still around. So, gosh, kids nowadays can drink it. Their parents drank it. The granddad did, great-granddad did, and great-great-granddad did. I mean, practically George Washington practically drank that stuff. No, not quite, but you can see Civil War. I'll bet you Civil War veterans. There were plenty of them in 1926. They probably drank Hershey syrup. I'm gonna have a little coffee. Wait a minute. Oh, that's nice. And there were so many others. There was Cocoa Marsh. I'm trying to think what Cocoa Marsh was all about. Can't quite remember. I know one thing we did. We always, and Carnation made a malted milk. Yeah, malted milk. I remember those kids. There was, when we lived in Island, New Jersey, we'd ride our bikes all day. And, what we'd do is we'd go knock on doors and ask people if they needed anything at the store. And we'd be like a delivery service on our bikes. Every kid had a basket. And we'd work. We had our different houses, and we'd do what we could to raise a little money. And then we'd all meet at Jimmy's Luncheonette after a hard day of riding our bikes back and forth, getting cigarettes for people. No, cigarettes, I know. You don't think, you say, well, kids can't go buy. Back then, yeah, you go in, cigarettes were $0.25 a pack. And we weren't buying them for ourselves, but the people that smoked, and a lot of people did, they'd say, we'd say, can we get you anything at the store? And they'd say, yeah, go pick me up a pack of cigarettes. They'd give me 35 cents, and you'd keep the change. And cigarettes were 25, so you had a dime. That got you going. Did that 3 or 4 trips, and you had enough for a burger and a chocolate soda at Jimmy's Luncheonette. It's pretty cool. The The hamburgers were great. Yeah, I don't know. There was something different about them back then. Maybe it's because you rode your bike about 10 miles to earn it. Maybe, I don't know. But they were very good on Jimmy's grill. He had a super grill. Pickle, hard roll, a little salt and pepper, a little ketchup, whoa, and then a chocolate soda. And the chocolate soda was pretty easy. That was a little bit of milk, chocolate syrup, and then a little bit more milk. Sometimes they'd use that Fox's You Bet, that chocolate syrup out of Brooklyn. They use that at the Chatterbox. And you stir that all up, and it gets good and frothy, and sometimes a little ice, maybe. Yeah, but generally the milk was cold enough. Jimmy kind of kept it near the ice cream, so it was cold. And there you go. And yeah, and Jimmy wore one of those paper like military hats. Yeah. It was his luncheonette. He wear whatever he wants, but he liked wearing that hat. And us kids would saddle up to the bar and yeah, talk about old times and eat our hamburgers and drink the chocolate sodas, and they were good. Little carbonated. Yeah, it was nice. There was just so much back in those days. There was, oh gosh, Nestle's chocolate, I think. Nestle's was a big one. Yoo-hoo. Yoo-hoo came out. That was basically a bottled chocolate drink. It wasn't carbonated. It was basically water, chocolate syrup, and I guess might have been skim milk. It wasn't. It didn't taste quite like milk, maybe because it was watered down. But it was chocolatey, good and cold. It wasn't bad. Wasn't bad at all. About the only thing was, I used to help my father with the soda business that he had, soda distributorship, and he had Yoo-hoo was one of his products that he distributed. And the Yoo-hoo bottles, being as they had milk, if they sat out in the sun in the summer, yeah, those bottles got kind of ripe. But they got cleaned real good back at the plant. But they were they're kind of whoa, and but they still were good. Yogi Berra, I think, had dealings with that. I think he owned the company, or he certainly was a prime investor. Yeah, Yogi Berra. In fact, I think my father, as a result, got a Yogi Berra autographed baseball. I think he did. Yogi signed one, sent it out to, one each to all the distributors. Yeah. So anyway, there you go. I guess now I've got you all hunkering for some chocolate milk, and well, that's all right. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, you remember? I just hit this, and then I got to go. But the Dairy Queen. Remember the Dairy Queen chocolate milkshakes? Maybe they're still the same, but I remember they had all that ice cream in it, just lumps of ice cream. Oh, God, that was good. Remember your first one? Yeah, you threw away the lid and the straw, you just chugged it. Blah, blah, blah. Chocolate, hunks of chocolate all over your... Oh, man, that was great. I forgot all about them. You couldn't drink them with a straw. It was too thick. Too thick, not sick, thick. It'd make you sick from trying to... Yeah, you get an aneurysm or something. Yeah, but they were, there you are, 5 years old with a pulmonary problem. But they were good. Best thing to do is no, don't do the spoon thing. You chug them. Yeah, oh man, they were good. God, tell you. I guess I'm going to have to head out and get me a milkshake now. Doggone her. Okay. Well, anyway, there you go, friends. I hope you enjoyed, and we'll catch you later. Doc South saying ta-ta for now.